Hello, I am back. Oh wow, yes, I am back. It is Wednesday, and there's still no baby, by the way, if people are wondering. I'm just gonna cut to the chase right now because some people are wondering. It's like, has the baby arrived? No, and we'll just leave it at that for now. So, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate. Wait a minute, I just totally messed up. Okay, it's live. Okay, this is live. So anyways, guys, hello, and thank you for joining. I hope everyone is doing well. If you're wondering why you're looking at this person here, sitting up here talking to you, that is because you decided to tune in to, my name is Yolanda. I am locating cozy, and this is a broad chat. So thank you guys for joining. It's been a wonderful few days, and just um, a lot of things going on. Still on baby watch for grandbaby number 2, and we're just being patient. But in the meantime, I have a special guest, and I appreciate her coming on. So I want to welcome Lisa. Hello, Lisa. How are
Yeah.
you doing today?
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
So, oh wow, yes, it's so great. It's so great. So here's what happened, guys. Lisa and I were working. Was it a month ago now? Yeah, I think it was a
Yeah.
month ago. And during this time, I was having like several technical issues with the StreamYard platform and all that. And so I was just dealing with some challenges. I'm hearing, is that a chime?
Yeah, they're Tibetan singing bells. I'll turn it down.
Okay, okay. I'm like, no, okay.
let me let me go. Let me. They're over here.
You
Let
know,
me go
it's
turn them
fine.
down real quick. Okay. But yeah, those are Tibetan singing bells. That's just what I listen to when I'm
Oh,
like all the
okay.
time.
Because I was like, what is? Yeah. Anyways, the bottom line was when we tried to do this, we tried to do a pre-record like maybe a month ago, and I was having all kinds of technical issues, and like the internet connection was sucking, and StreamYard was just giving me the blues. And we tried different, like doing on the phone, and tried all these different avenues. And after a while, we just had to call it because I was, I don't know who said it first, me or Lisa, but it was like this is not working. So then I was doing some traveling. So, anyways, Lisa and I have both been, just living life. And I'm thankful that you have been able to schedule some time to come back. And let's try this again. But this time we're going live.
Yeah, and I'm
So,
excited. I'd like to
Lisa,
share with other.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying. Yeah, I was saying I'd like to share with other Black women who are thinking of doing the same because that's all I want to see is more of us sort of taking
Out
advantage
here
of
in
the
the street.
world.
Yes, definitely. And and I'm very thankful that I do get to actually take an interview and have conversations and have girlfriend chat with other Black women that are like even if you're in the planning stages or if you already made the jump to wherever you are, wherever you want to be. I just like to have that conversation so we can really bring it home that you're not alone. Yes, there's many of
Mm-hmm.
us out here doing things or planning on doing things,
Mm-hmm.
so you're not alone. So
Mm-hmm.
so let me just go in here to the chat real fast. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up close. There we go. Okay. Okay. I just want to go into the chat and give some hellos to some of the ladies that are here. The faithfuls, man, y'all be like, we're here. I'm here. So, yes, hello, Jess. Thank you. Hello, Jess A. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And yes, I do have a fabulous guest. Yes, yes, Miss Lisa. Miss
Thank
Lisa.
you.
And hello, Dr. Linda Takende. Oh, I can't say it. Yeah, Takende Travels. Yeah, she's saying Buenas tardes, chicas. Yeah, she was.
Buenos
Linda, weren't you
Aires.
just in France? Yeah, you were just in France, like maybe what, a month ago, if I'm not mistaken. Please do share. So we're going to be hitting on a few different things today and about how Lisa came to be in France right now. Yes, Linda said yes. She was just in France like a month ago. Yeah, Linda's from Texas, where I'm from. It's our hometown area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, where are you from originally?
I
Lisa,
am from
you. I'm
Las
sorry,
Vegas,
you.
Nevada, born and raised, but Mm-hmm. Born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, but now if I go home, my home base is in the DMV, Maryland. Oh, the you're
YouTube
muted.
was running in
You're
the
muted.
background. I fixed it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. We're live. Okay. I was like, what is happening here? Where are you from again? I'm sorry, dear.
Born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, but the last 10 years I made the DMV my base, my American base. So if I fly back home, I have a place in Maryland, right outside of DC.
Okay. How often do you get back there?
So I have a child. She's 8. So because of her, if I wouldn't go back if it wasn't for her, but because of her, I go back. Before this current person in office, before him, it was every month. So I would be here for most of the month and then go back just to, have face to face and help out. But now with this current person in office and the funniness with going through customs and enforcement, I've just decided every 6 weeks now. So every 6 weeks I go back just to spend anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks with her. And so my ex husband gets a little bit of a break. I get time with her. And so part of me being here has been a conversation with my 8-year-old daughter on finding what works for both of us with and me taking her into account and me being here. So that's sort of what we've worked out at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to go into that a little bit because I'm really curious about coming back every few
Mm-hmm.
weeks or so
Mm-hmm.
because I actually had,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why I want to talk about it is because there was an offer, a consulting or a contracting offer that was on the table for me, but they wanted me to come in to Houston once a month, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Okay, do you
It's
have a
doable,
lag or something?
but we can talk about
Okay,
it.
okay, yeah. And so yeah, but I mean, yeah. Now I'm finding out that more people are doing it than I realized. That come back more than just quarterly; they come back pretty regularly. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So before we get started in the deep conversation, I always like to ask the question, and I got some good ones for me right now. But how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing for you that just makes you feel good, that has just brought you joy, just for selfish purposes, just because it made you smile, it made you happy? Can you share?
Yeah, so I will say the most recent time I found my cozy is something I like to do. I like to go walking with my headphones and I sing out loud. And I dance
Oh,
too while I'm walking. And people look, but I don't care. I like it. It really brings me joy. Like I'm so happy. It's my favorite tunes. I'm practicing my vocals. Like I'm dancing if a good song comes on because I have a really good playlist. Sometimes it's Whitney, sometimes it's Nuck If You Buck, but whatever. I'm in France and it connects me. And I did this back home, but especially in France, it keeps me so connected and tied into our culture.
that is so cool. And the reason I'm like really impressed with this because when I would come here to visit my daughter originally before I moved here to Zaragoza, she lived like in the just on the edge of the city, and so like in the little, like, it's not a suburb, but anyways, but I would go walking, and I would literally, it was just something that was just felt so freeing, but there was really nobody around because it was like on the suburb, like on the tail end. But I would go walking and just like be walking out to like some Hotel California, some old like R&B or old rock, and just be walking and just dancing. But then also there was like not a lot of people around. Like if somebody was driving by, they just see that there's some crazy, American woman just okay, just losing her mind. Nobody was calling the cops, but that's amazing. I wouldn't. I'm a pretty free spirit, but I don't think I would have the uh, what is the word? Uh, I wouldn't be able to like do it like walking in the neighborhood. I want to challenge myself to do it now and freak everybody out. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and it like I can silently listen to the music, but the joy is singing and dancing. Like that is the best part. And I will always tell people like I'm very American. And I don't say that lightly. When it comes to like American culture, there are really big parts that like I really embody. So like part of American culture is like we really are going to do what we want to do and we don't care what anyone thinks. And I am
Yes.
really like that. Maybe more so than most. So I can go to so I remember when I went to New York and I was doing that, I saw another black dude singing out loud and we just looked at each other and vibed. Like I fit in New York, right? Like I'm not from there, but that level of just being happy, being expressive, and really not caring and doing it for anyone else except the love and joy. Like, I'm like extra American, and don't take that the bad way. It's just, that part is really,
Hmm.
really in me. So I sort of bring it here, and I feel a little bad because they're not used to always people being so expressive. Um,
They picked
they
out the perfect
are, but
words.
not the way we
Hyacinth
are,
said
you know. And I'm like,
audacity.
oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be in my little world.
Hyacinth said it's audacity. I couldn't think of the
Yeah.
words.
Mhm.
And yeah, I love that. Audacity. I have the audacity to do that. And the other word, just A, said courage. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Courage, yeah. But I want that. That's and it puts me in mind, I'm sure you've heard this before, of Friends when Phoebe's just running through Central Park just like all crazy or whatever and stuff. It's like that's my freedom. That's how I get to express myself however I please and however I see fit. Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool. I want that courage.
I'm a
I
little bit
like
like
that.
Phoebe. Not gonna lie.
And embrace it all the way. Yes. So how am I locating my cozy? I it's nothing that I actually intended to do, but I am embracing it, and I felt like there's a certain amount of independence that I'm gaining here in Spain. So two things happened, and I was just so beyond proud of myself that I didn't need help. One is my doctor's office called me, and whenever, like on my Spanish phone number, my doctor here in Spain, and I always answer the phone, but I always start with, disculpe, no hablo español, like, because I haven't set up my voicemail to say, like, text me instead. And they were calling, and I was able to have this whole 5-minute conversation with them because what they needed was a copy. They needed my health insurance card number. They misplaced it or a number was transposed. But I was just so proud of myself that I was able to decipher what was needed and give them the information. It was like a 5-minute conversation, but I just felt like I'm getting a little bit more independence. Like I did something. It was a big deal to me. And the
It's a
other
round of
thing that I did
applause.
today,
I
yes,
remember those moments.
right, yes. And the other thing that I did today was that I
Mhm.
went and got, because I've lived here now for a year, and the owner that I'm renting from just left everything, like the electricity and the internet, in her name. And so now that she realizes that I'm not moving, she's like, "You got to get this stuff in your name." I was like, I don't want to." But I went and got my electricity on in my name today, and it took
Utilities
all
are
of
rough.
30 minutes. Yes. I was just so beyond proud of myself. And so yeah, it just gave me this sense like you got this, what I can lean on. I don't mind leaning on people and leaning on my daughter for help, but also just to be able to do it by myself. That just gave me all the cozies. And so yes, I'm
That's a
proud of
big moment.
myself.
I had to get power here. Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was the same
And it's
thing. And they kept saying, Madame, in French, do you want someone else or do you want to call back? And I was like, I can't sign up on the internet. Like usually you can sign up on the internet and I can translate everything. But they said you can't do it. You have to call. And like 5 times she's like, I'm like, répétez s'il vous plaît. Répétez s'il vous plaît plus lentement pour moi. Qu'est-ce que c'est là? 5 times she's like, do you want to call back later? And I'm like, no, because call back for what? To start over? No, we're gonna have to make
like
it
we're doing
through.
this.
Like I don't know
We are
what
doing
you
this.
want, but like 5 times, and I felt so bad for her, but I'm like, no, not at all. Pas du tout. On va. Je compris, I was like, I can understand most of it. It's just every now and then I just don't understand. I'm like, but me calling back and starting this all over was like a horror show. but we made
Yeah, it's
it.
like that's not the
So
option.
I know how it is like that first when you can't. Hmm.
Yeah. So and actually I'm kind of thankful because I tried to do it online because it was a matter of switching the ownership of the account, to my name, and they were like, you can't do it online. So and they were like, and then I tried to I sent a WhatsApp to their WhatsApp customer service, and they were like, no, go online to this link and do it. And it was like, no, you can't do it with this account. So then I just took the latest bill, and they said go to a customer service site. And I went to a site and I set up there with that guy, and yeah,
Oh,
we Google translated it out in 30 minutes. Yeah.
perfect.
I'm
It's
happy.
impressive.
So, Lisa, can you please give us like a little, just I guess a synopsis of, well, I guess a summary of. We're going to go into more detail, but give us a summary of you gave us some insight. Can you give us a little summary of how you came to be, what's going on in your world, how you came to France?
Yeah, I'll do it in maybe 5 minutes. So,
Okay.
so I went to school. I went to school in the States, University out of Las Vegas, went into corporate America. Was in corporate America about 2 years before I realized what the scam was. The scam was if you're not white, if you're not part of and not just white, but part of their inner circle. Because there's a lot of people who are
Mm-hmm.
white who are not part of the inner circle. I was like, oh, you don't get promoted. They just sort of keep all their friends, and I'm not in that group. And then I realized
Mm-hmm.
between microaggressions and like my obvious intelligence not being utilized, I sort of checked out. So within a couple of years of corporate America, I'm like paycheck only. And I funneled all that into a side business. And the side business I chose was real estate investing. This was in 2009. I'm like, okay, let me get my rental properties, let me get rent. And then once I get to the 5,000, whatever a month, I can just travel as much as I want. But the goal was always travel. So
Okay.
I sort of checked out of the corporate world. I was still corporate for 8 years, but I was checked out, meaning that was not where I was
You're
going to
gonna get what
land,
you
but it
get.
was a
Yeah, that's
nice
it.
paycheck, and I used that to invest. Very quickly, I was like, I'm not enriching you guys. My side business, after 8 years, I had to do my business full time because I got laid off. And so within 6 years, though, of doing it during the 8 years plus the 6 years just doing it independent, I was just a consultant. I was teaching books. I was my business was it's called Affordable Real Estate Investments. It was targeted towards Black professionals who wanted to invest in real estate. Black professionals
Okay.
because they're the ones who had the capital to do it a little bit more freely, and real estate investing because I targeted low end minority neighborhoods, the kind I grew up in. So I built a platform on sort of getting people comfortable with that because the majority society, the majority of Caucasian society spoke down very poorly on Black neighborhoods, and they were the only voice of investing. And so when I came along, I'm like, well, we can invest in our own neighborhoods. I know they're scared, they should be, but we don't have to be. We're from here. And so just really breaking down, like still taking all those things into account, but running the numbers. So that sort of sustained me for 6 years. And about 3 years ago, I looked up and I was like, ugh, I still have debt. I still have, I still have this. I have this house. And I was like, I'm tired. I should be done by now. And so this was after, like I said, 13 years total between the corporate America and then on my own. I'm like, I'm not like with the money I thought. I'm not making the. It was just not there. And I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so do I do this for another 15 years? And I said, no, we're not doing this for another 15 years. So I looked at everything I had, decided what debt I'll pay off and what debt I would not. Being very open about this, it was a very much a business decision,
It's like
and
this needs
sold
to be
the
taken care of
properties I
now, and
did
then this
had,
can
paid
wait.
off the mortgages.
Yeah.
Not even wait, just not paying it. I know that's a little too much honesty on this site, but not everything got. If it was not, not
It
everybody's
is what
getting
it
fed,
is.
okay? But I paid off what I
Okay.
could and what I could. I had to prioritize what I could. Sold everything, paid off the mortgages I had to pay off and whatnot. I had to make the strategic decisions on what debt, credit card, or personal I'd pay off of what I had to pay. Student loans take priority. Anything government issued have priorities. But then after that, when I looked at what I had, it had enough for a small condo to buy outright in Maryland and a small condo in France. So that took about 6 months to sell the property, and then once you have it, it was another 6 months to purchase both that and that. So I sort of just lived a little freely in hotels with kitchenettes so I can cook, or Airbnbs, until I found a property in each place. And then, so why France? So why France? So I had been
Yeah.
traveling. So once I made the decision to sell everything in that 6 months, I had actually I was attracted to France. Now, sometimes, and I really want to stress this to people thinking of moving abroad, our energy resonates with certain countries and not with others. You have to visit. It's pure energy. It is just a resonance or just dissonance. It just is what it is. So you can love Spain, and I can be the same person, same personality, but my energetically, it just does not jive with me. I was attracted to France. I came to France. France loves me, and I love them. It was like I make love to this country. Not only the plants, the earth, the buildings, the people, the culture. It is a fit for me. I am a fit for them. So sometimes that crazy dancing and walking, sometimes it looks askance, but they love to dance and sing here. So other times they're like, I met a friend that way, right? So like it was a love affair between the land. And so I decided to go through south of France because I'm from the West Coast. West Coast, we're much more friendlier. We're very much more integrated. It's different than the East Coast and the South. So I needed the south of France to feel like home, what I was comfortable with, like in the openness and warmth and being able to easily make friends. And I went through like 6 different cities in the south of France: Toulouse, which I liked; Montpellier, which I liked; Nice, which I was okay. I thought it was a little snooty, but it was really nice, and I met nice people. And then I was in Marseille. Then I kept going to Marseille. And then not only did I build a community here and friends that like I just got back here again, so I've already texted them. We're already making plans. But like as an investor, it was just a really strategic investment. As Twyla, who's in the We Out group where I met you, she
Hmm.
mentioned that because she stayed here for about a month. We met each other for a few days and she stayed here for a month, and that worked out perfectly fine. And so she has a different view of seeing it than me. It was known as being dangerous. I knew that, but I'm the kind of person, I go
Marseille.
and see things for myself. I never take anything word of mouth. Marseille was known as like, so it's the oldest city in France. The national hymn is called La
Okay.
Marseillaise, and that becomes they were so impressed with these African Arab citizens when they fought. They were very fierce compared to who was in northern France. So that's why the Marseillaise is like the national anthem, and that's where it comes from. And there's so much culture and history because this was fought over by the Greeks, the Tunisians, Algerians, and then the French. So there's so much history here, and it was a huge port city in the Mediterranean. So that the history part was great, but just purely on the bad reputation it had, that just reminded me of when I was investing in minority neighborhoods in the States. They all had bad reputations, but they retired me in 6 years, right? So, I knew to look. So I came to Marseille, found out it had a reputation for being dangerous. I'm from the States. So I will say my confidence level and the danger I saw was just really like, I was really confident that I'd be able to handle it because I wasn't seeing anything to me that was dangerous. And I wonder if that plays into it. So I'm like, nah, this isn't bad. This isn't dangerous at all. Whereas I have my French friends who live in the city, who live in the other part of town, not in the arrondissement I live in. They're like, I wouldn't go there except during the day. And I'm like, what? I like walk home from the club at like 3 o'clock in the morning. This place is safe. So even people here have like this perception. And I think being Black American, we have this ability to go to a country, and because of our background and knowing that like sometimes things are named violent or scary just because it's
Hmm.
black or Arab or not white. So we have this way of, I think, maybe of being discerning and being able to pick that up in other countries as well. Because I did, and I was like, "There's nothing. That's the reputation, but it's not the reality." But that kept the prices low. But this is such a great
Yeah.
city, and I'm more than happy to tell you what I love about it.
So the reason I had to like be like, okay. So what happened was here I went to like some language exchange thing here in Zaragoza. This was like probably almost a year ago now. But they were literally trying to say like, no, it's not, because I was saying, they asked me why I moved here. And I said, well, for several reasons. I said, well, one, Zaragoza is wonderfully safe, and and they were like, oh no, no, we had a murder 2 months ago. Really, really.
Right.
Don't
Like
try to
one
one up
murder.
me.
Like, bro,
Do
what?
not try to
That's
one up
it?
me. I'm not trying to downplay
Yeah.
your experience, but please don't try to tell me that, ooh, there's a CD. I mean, and I believe that there is a CD dark side. Don't
Yes.
get me wrong. There's danger.
Yes.
It can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
But don't come at
Yeah.
me, okay? Talking about there was a murder 2 months ago in
Right.
Zaragoza. What?
Right.
Okay, I'm from
Right.
Houston, Texas. What happened on what side of town last
Girl.
night? Okay. uh,
During the we have two
so
murders a
I
day.
get
Like,
that.
I don't
I get that.
what you're talking about. Yeah, and there's this thread on TikTok I saw that made me laugh. It's sort of the same thing. This guy was talking about he was in some country in Finland or Sweden, but the gist of it was they're like, oh, this neighborhood is so bad. And when he went there, he's like, it's an Arab family. Like, but they thought it was so bad. Like, it really comes down to just basic, oh, you're brown and black, you're scary. But for us, that's just like when I invested in the States and minority neighborhoods, that's our superpower because we don't get scared based off superficial colors of your skin. So that means we can
Yeah.
navigate in spaces they're scared to go to, and we can take advantage or enjoy things that they just can't enjoy. And I feel honestly that's the story of Marseille. Like, I'm enjoying the ancient cultures here. Like, it's ancient. The things they do are thousands of years old, like for between this Arab or North African community or this African community. And the taste and the food, the street food is like straight out of the Sahel. You know what? Like, it is authentic. So I'm just enjoying this, but like, it's dangerous and all, and that is sort of what people still think about it. But when people think a place is dangerous, it keeps the cost low and it keeps a certain type of person out. It only keeps really brave people in. Like, only brave people who are curious and open-minded find places with bad reputations.
So I'm going to jump in to ask this because it's like I was just reading. It was one article that I read, and I don't know that much, but because the prices have not skyrocketed, and I guess I call like Marseille, I call Zaragoza like one of Spain's best kept secrets. Do you think Marseille is like one of France's best kept secrets and kind of lowers the extreme gentrification?
Yes. People are finding out. I've been here for 2 years, and I've noticed I have someone staying with me for Airbnb, and they're looking for an apartment. From the last 2 years to now, the situation, people are moving here so much because they're like, sun, weather, not expensive, metro, things to do every single day, wonderful food and culture. So it is a secret, but I don't know how long it will stay a secret. I really don't.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, because here I'm, somebody was like, "Well, how you gonna keep it a secret? Because you talking about it on YouTube." It's like we're just getting started. Relax, okay? The community is
Can I
slowly is,
can I say
especially
something about that?
here. Like, what? Go ahead.
What I want to say about that is I'm very strategic to only talk about Marseille with Black people. I'm an investor, so I know how this works. Reputation and word of mouth matters. I'm not going to lie. If I'm around Caucasian people and they're saying it's dangerous, I hype it up. I'm like, yeah, man, it's so unsafe. Not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. But when I'm around Black people I want to move here, I tell them like what the real deal is. I have to say I'm an investor. Real estate investing, you gotta like word of mouth is so big. Like, if you keep hyping it up to the wrong people, they will flood. So like playing this game is like is a strategy that actually does work. So I will say, yes, I'm hyping it up, but I'm very careful to only hype it up to Black only spaces. And if I did a live on this and was talking to people about coming, I would take the live down. Like, I'm not leaving it up. So I'm being very discerning the same way I moved in the States when I found new markets that would be very lucrative for multiple reasons to go to. Not only, yeah, I learned that in the States. So
you know what? And you bring that knowledge, and that's great that you're like you are strategic about it. I don't know if I'm so much strategic as far as me talking about where I've moved to, because I just want to share with Black women that whether you're coming to, small town Spain, or, well, Zaragoza is not small town, but wherever you're going to that is just possible. That's always the message that I want to get out there, to go and discover and figure out what works, what country, what city, what region speaks to you, speaks to your soul. And just so turned out for me that Zaragoza was like, come home. Okay, so here I am. So yes. So what was the process? Because, okay, so you own your property there, you own your condo there. Was the process? Did you
Yeah,
have?
that was part
Okay,
of
okay. So the two
that
questions.
was part of the
I'm
visa
like, my mind's
process.
going overloaded. Oh, okay. So part of the visa
Hmm.
was the fact that you were actually investing in the property. Okay, okay,
But I didn't realize that until after that it could be leveraged that way. So I just bought it for me.
okay.
Then when I went through the visa process, I realized, I will tell this to anyone, if you guys really look to like doing a business visa, like building a business, I got that. So I feel like that's the one that you can get very quickly. They love anyone who wants to come and do business in their country. And so
Hmm.
I bought the property for myself because I wanted to have a part of Marseille and live here. Um, and then I was like, well, I'm finding that I'd like to invest more in these neighborhoods maybe over the years, and I want to rent this place out and make money as an investment. So when I travel, I rent it out the whole thing, and when I'm here, I rent out my second bedroom. I did the numbers, and it's actually enough for me to meet our minimum wage, which is about 1,700 euros a month, by between both
Hmm.
renting it out and renting out a room when I'm here or renting out the apartment. And then secondly, I was like, well, I do the real estate investing there. Well, maybe I can get 5 to 10 people a year who would like to invest with me because they do want to retire. And I could show them how to leverage the idea of investing and building a business here, with a property as a way. So when I applied for my business visa, I told them the same thing, which worked, which was I'm going to some of the lowest, they call them quartiers sensitive, sensitive neighborhoods, distressed neighborhoods, and investing in those. The same thing I did in the United States. The business office was very okay with the idea of a, I don't necessarily know if being black had a vision, but American woman who demonstrated they purchased a place, want to invest and already put money to invest and fix it up in one of the poorest, it is one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. I love it, but it is.
Yeah.
Um, and keep doing it each year. And so that was the plan, like do it this year, but then next year I want to do it again. Um, and they were very like, that's not a bad, oh, you want to come into our bad neighborhoods and fix it up? Cool. Yeah, like, yeah, and rent
Game.
out. So that's sort of what I leveraged to get in. And I did. And it is enough, like I said, to meet their minimum wage requirements. So it's not even like
Okay.
it's a crazy
So did you
idea.
have
And I'm actually on the
a
low
French
end. If I
attorney
charged more,
there?
I could, but I don't choose to. Um, I could actually make even above that just renting out my second bedroom. So I knew I would do some combination of that. And they were okay with that. 2 weeks, took 14 days to get the
Okay.
visa. Like, and there was no delay. They didn't need to see too much more. They were like, oh, you bought the place, you renovated the place, you put the numbers in. I utilized ChatGPT to help with the visa. I would recommend
So
that.
you didn't have like a French attorney or French immigration attorney that helped you with this whole process. You just kind of took your knowledge from the States and just did your own research.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that was big because I was really formal in the States. Like I did the business correct. So I had articles of operating agreements. I have a partnership. So I have like the separate partnership duties and the partnership agreement. I had everything sort of like that, like the written formal documentation. So now that I got my visa, I'm going through the French business creation, which is so tough. Like it's sort of like, old English is like American business. This is an old French which is the
Mhm.
business is based out of. So you have to really translate everything because it's not direct. It means, it's like old Latin. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what e pluribus unum is. You know what I mean? So ChatGPT is helping with that. But I'm able to create a branch from my real estate investing consulting arm. I'm just creating a branch here. But it was
Here
sort
in
of
France.
smooth
Okay.
because I had all the documentation, the operating agreement, partnership agreement. They asked for those things, but translated. So I just got it translated and uploaded it. So because I was just done my business as far as like the business structure, I just had to translate those things to French, and that made it pretty straightforward on establishing it in France. Um, it could be a little intimidating if you didn't have it already, but it's easy enough to create. It's just I already had it, so it was a little bit smoother. Just translate
Okay.
it.
But you just followed, but you went to the, I guess, via the French consulate website or what have you, or the immigration site, and started. Did you have to start any processes in the States, or did you start them automatically here in France?
I did. I did. They tell you you have to do it in the States. So I did. And it actually switched. I actually applied for a bigger business, like it's called Talent Passport Entrepreneur, where it's like you have to invest at least $30,000 in a business here that you want to start. And I went for that one because that one's 4 years. They switched me when they saw that I wanted to just go property by property to sort of a micro entrepreneur, which is a
Okay.
different visa. So they made that executive decision to make me just like a freelance visa. So that one I have to renew every year, but I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So I started with them. I gave them what they needed. They made an executive decision to switch it. I'm like, oh, well, I wanted the 4 year, like, but they're like, you're more of a
Yeah.
micro than like a big business. And so I understood. And so, yeah, then I went forward with that. But it's pretty, you don't necessarily, they give you a checklist. You don't necessarily need a lawyer necessarily. I hate doing that, but I use ChatGPT. Like that's the secret because I was able to
It's
put
not
everything in. It was
recommended
like,
for
okay,
somebody
this is
that's
what it
not
means, what
a
it's
seasoned
looking for.
business
And I even
owner. I
asked
will say
ChatGPT, I'm like,
that. I don't know if
mm,
you heard me.
well,
Yeah.
get a lawyer if you're not already. Yeah, if you're not already a business owner, get a lawyer. But I was, so I just had to translate it so I can give them the documents they need, which I already had. So ChatGPT was really good on translating their technical business French into what that
Hmm.
actually means as far as what they want to see. So
Okay.
that was enough for me, and I do have a business background.
Okay.
But
I
I
would be
just want
so
to stress it was
intimidated.
so easy. I really feel that like anyone who really looks into freelance or entrepreneurship, I get the feeling countries are really open. Oh, okay. Can always start. It's okay to be intimidated, but we start at the same place, right?
Yeah. No, I got an attorney, but I mean, like, I
Just
have a
get a
different type
consultant
of
like
visa,
me. I'll
but
help
I
you. I'll
got an
walk you through it
attorney.
all. I'll walk you. You can even copy
Okay.
my like.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is okay? So let's back up. First of all, how is your French? Because you're just saying the words pretty good, and I'm just like, I'm impressed. Were you fluent in French before, or has this just developed over time?
No, no. So about 2 years ago, when I before I decided to fly to France, I just started with. I had learned Spanish 20 years ago, so that was my base Spanish. It's not the same, but I had learned the grammar. And so, because I had learned it 20 years ago when I was in college in 2004, I was like, when I learned Spanish, I just took the top 10 to 20 words I used all the time and I conjugated those words. And
Hmm.
I did the same thing for French when I started. I was like, so I know to be able to get, to go, to have. So there was like, just the things that you always saying, I have to go, I'm going to go, to eat. Like there were all these things I would say all the time. And that's how I became fluent. So I did start with taking like those 10 to 20 um, words and put them in French and then conjugating them. And then once you're writing all the 6 different tenses, you sort of like just undoing it on your own. You just, after the 6th or 7th,
Okay.
you start to get the gist of the conjugation. So on my own, I did that, right? Just writing it took me like 2 weeks. It was a lot of writing. And then I felt comfortable with that to put them together. So then I got tutors off of a website called iTalki,
Yes.
and I got them. They were like $5 for 30 minutes if you, depending on what country you get the tutor from. So my tutors were all from Cameroon. It was $5 for 30 minutes, and I did that 2 to 4 times a week for the first 2 to 3 months, and that I think was a rapid acceleration because they were all different. So some people were like, read this. Other people were like, all right, write this. Let's talk about your business. And they would go step by step, and I would read that. Other people would be different, but between all of that, every week, it took 2 to 3 months where I felt better. And then when I started
Wow.
traveling here, France is really good about language exchanges. And so when I'm here, now I haven't been like in a month, but usually for the last 2 years, I would go once or twice a week to a language exchange. This one was through Polyglot. And it was people who are French who wanted to learn English and people who wanted to learn French. And you just sort of exchange throughout the night. It's a great way to meet people. And I would do that. And I would say between that and reading books that were for kids, it really accelerated to the point where now I can speak. So if you don't speak any French, any English, we can communicate. And mostly you can understand me. And I might ask you a few times a word I don't recognize, but we can completely converse at this point, or I can go get my utilities. So 2 years, and that's sort of the progression.
Okay. Wow. As you were saying all these different little tricks and things that you did, and I'm like, I feel like I can do better now with my Spanish because I do like conversation exchange. I
Mhm,
found that there's a lady that I
mhm,
meet up with, like, well, before it was like once a week, once or twice a week we would meet up on WhatsApp, and we would like do the exchange and conversations. But I've utilized different ways of learning and understanding. But I like that these, selecting just like a list of phrases, like normal phrases that you just know that you're going to be using regularly, and then just conjugating
mhm,
those.
mhm,
I like that a lot. Wow.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll start to memorize. You'll start to memorize it.
Okay. I'm going up here to the comments real fast because yeah, I have quite a few. Okay. So I'm just gonna go down here the list. First, Kyoka, I don't know if she's still on here, but she was giving much kudos and just saying how much she loves France. And yes, and she said it's very sexy. And she was saying how much she loved to lose. And now Kyoka did have a question. You can reserve the right to answer this or not, but she asked the question. So is what's the man availability looking like in Marseille? Because she heard some good.
Woo, too many.
I'll
Too
be there
many.
next month.
I apologize
Okay.
to any black woman who comes after me and they think we're super. It's super easy. I do apologize. I'm just there's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay. So
I've
it's a nice
experienced
option.
quite a bit in 2 years.
Okay.
All sorts. So take it out whatever pace. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little starry eyed when I got here. Maybe it was a little easy for like, but
Okay. So
after a while, you're
respectable,
like,
there's
oh, I'm
nice eye
used to
candy
it. But
all
like,
over.
I guess I
Yeah.
just wasn't used to like that. Yes, and Arab men are different, and that's really fun. And then French men are different, and that's really sharp, but it can be very beautiful. I will say this. I'm gonna give you a little bit of this. All of the men are different, but like French men have a higher emotional intelligence. So it's so different than dating in the States because they want to make sure you're having a good time. That's part of the fabric. That's why their laws look the way they do. They want to make sure you're having a good time too. So like even when it's short, you get like this wonderful, caring, considerate person who wants to make sure you have everything. The other thing that's really awesome is that they do lovers really well. I never had a lover. You can't do that in the States. They just want a conquest and like a one-time thing. But in the state here, they do
Hmm.
lovers. They do it so well. So, They
I'm thinking of taking on a
I'm not gonna
lover.
go into. I'm just gonna say that like I mean it's very natural, but like they do it right. So like when you're not with them, it's like wow, you don't really communicate, but when they're with you, you get showered with that attention
Just laser
and those
focused attention.
gifts and oh what do you oh my yes. So like when they're gone, but when they're there, they're like, oh, you said you like karaoke and this and that. I found this for you. Do you know what I mean? Like they do lovers really well. And so like I did
Okay.
break off my last engagement and lover that I had. But like look at me smile. Like there's nothing wrong with like just
Yes, like it
it's all
ended,
good.
but
It was
my
all love. You know
goodness,
what I mean? That was 2 years. He was like the first person
I
I
love it.
I'm
Wow.
glowing. You see what
Okay.
I mean? Like there was a
Yes.
difference in how it manifests. And so and all the cultures are different. I've dated all the cultures. So it's and like North African men are different than the French and different than the African, even the Asian. Like so it's really fun and I enjoy it. Lots of eye candy if you want, lots of older men, lots of all different ages. I've experienced it all. I have nothing terrible. Like some, like one was a douchebag, but most were good too. But most were good. So I would say, yeah, like there's tons of
Okay.
opportunity of whatever you would like, and they do it well. They do it to the point where even though I've broken up with all these guys, I'm not mad at even the D bags weren't terrible. Like you leave
Yeah.
with something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I get it. I completely understand
sorry.
what you're saying. It's really
And
a
I will say I'm more
let me
open.
tell you.
I'm more open than most. I'm more
Yeah.
open. Like I am more confident than most women. I'm not even gonna lie or even try to hold back. I'm more comfortable with that aspect. I can go into a relationship with love, but I can also pull away and break off. You know what I mean? So
Recognize when it's
I'm
over
okay
and
with
thank you
that
for the wonderful
flow. So
time. And
not
yeah.
everyone is. So yeah, no
This
hate,
section
still
right here,
friends.
I'm going
They're
to be
still
putting this
calling. I'm
on
like,
my
no,
Instagram. Just this
no,
clip. Just this clip. I'm putting it because the comments right now are just lighting
no
up.
shame. I enjoyed it all. It's a smorgasbord. Jess said it's a smorgasbord. It is, girl. I'm so sorry. I enjoyed it all for
Don't
2 years.
apologize. No, there's no
I
apologies
enjoyed
here.
it
Like,
all.
yes, like, and you, it's so wonderful just to like we're grown ass women. Yes, enjoy and just let it be
Mm-hmm.
known that yes,
Mm-hmm.
there's options out there that just enjoying life and taking control and just doing your thing. That's awesome. I'll be there soon. Yeah, yeah. And no, I mean I'll
Mm-hmm.
be there soon. Because I'm going to France. I haven't gone to France yet, and I'll be going there next month. The intention is not for me to go and find a lover, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to deny it either. Okay, okay. So
You ready?
tell me.
They are.
We'll take that. Don't worry. I'll talk to y'all about that. We'll talk about that later. So,
A
what
lot
was
of comments. You
your?
want us to get to the comments?
Oh yeah, yes. I mean yes. Yeah. Just Ace says I need a handyman.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have
Very
multiple
good.
people I call for multiple reasons, and they're great. Mm-hmm.
Each person
Oh, I'm
serves a
looking.
different purpose.
Oh, you'll like it.
They laugh.
Mm-hmm.
They laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So when you okay, so how many times before you moved here? How many times had you been to France? A couple of times? Or you had several visits, or you were just kind of bopping around during one specific area or a time frame?
I went after graduation. Good question. I went after graduation in 2005 when I graduated college.
Okay.
Not since then. I was just attracted
Okay.
to it. And then I decided, let's go travel throughout France. And so the idea was I would travel throughout France because I just sold the house and whatnot. So I had a little bit of money to travel with. And I was going to go through all parts of France. That was the goal. But I just kept in the south and I just kept coming back to Marseille. So I still need to visit the rest. But I had came maybe to maybe before I decided 12 times before I decided to stay. Now, I'm a budget traveler. I moved strategically to the DMV area so that I'm near BWI, Dulles, and DCA. where I consistently could find flights with budget hacking trips, $325 to $535 consistently. That's backpack only travel, you don't select your seat, whatever. I was doing this enough where I got good at doing that. And so I was able to budget that in, coming back and forth or going again. And then when I got here, I would stay in apart hotels where I can cook. And so then your food costs are honestly the biggest part of any trip, or food costs and spending a ton of money. But since I was cooking, these trips were, even including the plane ticket, all in about 800, 900. So I had budgeted for that with like the sale of the property.
Okay. Wow. And so you said you go back to the States, you go back and forth like every 6 weeks. And so this, I mean, I'm just
Now
thinking, I'm
6 weeks
like,
because of the Orange Man, but before it was every month.
yeah, okay. And so how was that? I mean, I know that you found like great ways to do travel on a budget, or you found all the wonderful hacks, but how
Mhm.
has that been on I know it's worth it because you're going back to see your child and stuff, and that's wonderful. But how has the travel been as far as security and customs and all that, even with every 6 weeks? What has that been looking like?
So I invested in global entry, so that helps coming back. I'm in the DC area. The DC area is more advanced than other places, so they have everything clear, pre-check, global entry, you name it. The DC areas, they're high enough status that they have it to get back in. So that part's okay. Do you have a question more about the toll it takes on your body? Because that's a different
Well,
question than
one, the
like
toll of
getting
okay.
in and
So
out
the leaving
over the
and the
last two
coming
years.
back, like the
But
security, and then yeah, yeah. As far as the time constraints, and then also like the mental like stress of traveling so much back and forth across the pond.
yeah, I will say in customs, so there's this thing when you go through the customs where they want you to take your photo, and I wouldn't do it because it says you don't have to do it. And they'd get mad and try to intimidate you, and it's like, well, I'm not. But then once the orange man got in presidency and I started coming back, they started getting aggressive when I didn't do the photo and opt
Hmm.
out and saying they're going to take me out and being really rude and being a bit like aggressive, but not the way they were before where they weren't going to do anything, where I felt they did. So now I do the photo check. So there is a difference. Like normally I don't do any photo stuff because I just don't trust these companies or businesses with
Yeah.
anything. I'm not going to give you anything extra for you to track me, right? But there
Yeah.
was a defined difference. Now, I do think because I'm in the DC region, there's some level of decorum these people are going to have because you're so close to like politics. You know what I'm saying? Like politicians.
Hmm.
Like, I just
Yeah.
don't think they're going to while out like they're doing in Texas or Miami, Florida for customs, right there where a congressperson's a call away and connected to your boss. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do feel
Okay.
like being in the DC region, they're a little bit better than other places, but there is a difference. I do come through Baltimore, which is like, I'm a black person going through Baltimore. So like, I don't look fit. They're like, girl, you ain't no terror. Like you ain't no like they're just thinking like you ain't no problem. I could be, but like the general thing is like you're just trying to get from point A to point B. You're not the target, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if maybe I don't know if I should say that out loud, but like it's Baltimore, right? I'm a black woman. I'm going through Baltimore.
Yeah.
What do you think
I
will
got
happen?
it.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They're not trying to play the games that they're going to play in Miami or Texas with customs enforcement. So it's been okay. So I'm still doing every 6 weeks now because I just to limit. So as far as the toll it takes on your body, after like at first there was no toll, just like it's an overnight flight, so you're sort of uncomfortable because like you just can't just lay out. Traveling between September and May is fine. There's so much more empty seats. As soon as it hits June, July, August, prices go up, seats go up, everything's crowded. But from September to May, going back and forth to the States is very easy because like they're not full flights. So like I mean, if you can keep that in mind, definitely.
Okay.
There's cheaper flights too to get over the Atlantic. Physical toll on the body. At first, because I've been doing this for 2 years, it was fine, but maybe like third or fourth trip, I would start getting maybe pain in my ankles. And then I looked up what I should do, compression socks. So
Mhm.
personally, after like the third or fourth time, I noticed that. So compression socks, I would take a little aspirin in like a tab form that fizzes in water, and I would hydrate well, and I would take the aspirin, just it's just natural blood thinner, do the compression socks, and I would get up and walk. So maybe like the fourth to 10th time that was an issue, but after the 10th, I honestly don't have those issues anymore. So I guess my body is accustomed to it.
Okay.
So there was a little bit like that. And I will say, after 2 years, sometimes I feel like my mind is still in the clouds. And now I do need, before maybe a day, to come back to myself. I will say now, I get someplace and I can spend 3 or 4 days just like in my house, regenerating energy, resting, recovering. My mind's a little, like not all like I'm, forgetting things or missing things. It's like you enter another dimension or something, and it takes a little time when you're older for your everything to come back and settle and ground
Recenter.
into your body. So,
Yeah.
so now I take longer trips, so I have that time to just relax and not plan more than one thing a day. And that's just the nature of the beast. I'm 43, and yeah, that's it. You know.
Okay. So, and I know, like, I told you an hour, but I'm like, I feel like I have a couple of more questions. How much time, like, do you have, like,
Yeah, go
going?
for it.
How much more time do you think?
I'm
Okay,
free. I'm
cool.
free.
Okay, cool. Okay, so, um, has your daughter come over here a few times to visit, or has you just been going back there to the States? And what has that been like?
I love my baby girl. She actually just finished. She actually just finished here. So I was bringing her here twice a week,
Oh,
once for her spring break and once for the summer. When I got my visa in April, my ex-husband actually suggested it. So because I had told him I want to move here. So I'm going through the visa. Got my visa. So this was like a 2-year thing. He knew this was coming, right? So when I officially
okay.
got my visa to stay, he knew I would be staying here and trying to renew it. He was like, okay, why don't we do summers with you, school here, and then that's when I was like, that can work. Then I spoke to my daughter, what would be ideal on me coming back to visit you? I was like, first, I was like, do you understand? Do do you understand that I am really happy in France versus the US? And she was like, yeah, I can tell. Like, you really love it. And I do want you to stay there. I was like, okay, but seeing you is important. So what are you looking for with that? And she was like, well, if I could see you once a month, I would really like that. So that's what we were doing once a month. With the Cheeto man and stuff, that's when I'm like going every 6 weeks. And I was like, can you understand the 6 weeks? I just don't want to limit the going through customs and security, but that's it. She was like, yeah, I do prefer each month, but you can do 6 weeks. So I was like, okay, we'll do every 6 weeks. And
That's great
so,
that
like
you're
I
able to
said,
have
this is a
that dialogue
conversation.
with
She's still
her.
in school. I love her. So she just left. So we just actually left here. We were here for about 15 days. And I don't know, like she's like, your kids could be such a great companion for traveling, right? Like she's old enough where she appreciates stuff. She points things out that I don't see. I point things out she doesn't see. We're both like in wonder and in love with like travel. And actually coming back, we missed our connecting flight through Iceland because I take an Iceland airline, and they missed the connecting
Hmm.
flight. So I was like, Layla, do you want to spend 3 days in Iceland? She's like, yeah. And so that was like and so I was like, so I called the airline and was like, instead of putting us on the next day, can you do it on Saturday, which was 3 nights? And they said yes. And we had that was like the best part of our 18-day trip was this accidental Iceland one. But like we're
Extended
together, we went
vacation.
whale
Wow.
watching, went to, oh my gosh. But like it's so, yeah, so she's there and she can understand French because 2 years ago when I started teaching me, I started teaching her. And so now she's actually, once I started teaching her, my ex-husband found out after 2 months. He was like, we actually have a French and Spanish immersion school for kids. And so 2 years ago, after that, he talked to someone who went to the school. We put her in there. So she's actually in a French immersion elementary
In the
school.
States.
She's going into
Oh,
fourth grade.
wow.
And so she's, so when I bring her here, I make her go talk to the waiter or go order for us or whatever. And I'm happy to say, after a lot of money and 3 years, she was able to understand pretty much like so much, so much. And I was like, okay, now, so when I call her, there's two things I with her long division right now. So after we have our 5-10 minute conversation, she catches me up. We'll do either 5 minutes of long division, like she has these flashcards, and I walk her through it. I'll call my ex-husband if like I'm explaining something he needs to show her, or we do French conversation, and she has to speak with me in French. So I hope over the next year that really accelerates her speaking, but her
Wow.
comprehension after 3 years and the constant conversation is there. So this is long. I'm long term. Real estate investing is long term. This is long term. So it's step by step, right?
Yeah. The way that you're
Not
investing and
petite.
pouring into her to give her this totally new, wonderful, wonderful experience. Yeah, it's like I was just looking at that. It said just this la petite, like you say it, because I'm gonna do it with the
La
Texas twang,
petite.
la pad head.
La petite. La
Okay.
petite. It's an adjustment.
So
Yeah,
that's so
I'm
cool.
smiling
And
so
so
big
it
because we
really
had a
does.
really good time, and next summer she'll be here the full summer. So looking forward to that.
Wow. Well, I just wanted to like really just like I hope that people are really paying attention to this because so many people are like, well, I can't because my child, and it's like your child can be a part
Hmm.
of that journey, or well, they should be. If
Hmm.
well, however
She
you
loves it.
describe it or lay it out, it doesn't hurt your child to be open and exposed to different experiences from around the world. It's so I mean, just the fact that just based on you living there, now she's in an immersion school, a language school in the States, and that you guys, this is
Hmm.
part of your
Yep.
normal
Hmm.
conversation. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Hmm.
So you were saying that
And sh-
you
and she
recently
likes
did some,
it. So
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
can I just say one thing for moms who are worried and on the fence? I'm doing this very strategically so that she knows when she graduates, I want her to not just think of American schools. I want her to be accustomed to being, I can look at American universities or French universities and I'll speak the language, or Japanese universities or European. So definitely she knows that my goal is for her to be just as comfortable in Europe as it is in the States. That's sort of what I'm grooming, like that's what I'm giving to her, the ability my parents didn't have. She knows that.
Yeah,
And now when I ask her, where do you think you might go to college? Is it New Zealand? Da 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 da. But at her, she understands now. She goes back, she's like, Mom, the way we like, I actually have like the summer people think about, like where do we summer, like Europe, we summer in Europe. But like she's having this experience and I'm not rich. It's just strategic. I chose what I have, an old dumpy car. I live in a low income. I own my condo outright, but it's in a low income area, and it's annoying sometimes because my neighbors are loud, right? Like, so this is all just choices, right? I could have done high end and
yeah,
had little money, or lower end and had a lot more saved, right? So all of these are just choices
yeah,
that I've doubled down on. But I will say she recognizes 100% that when we're here and we can travel for cheap and we're taking the train and we're taking these 20-year-old flights to Croatia or Greece. Like she recognizes because I talked to her, oh, this was a 20-year-old flight we got. It's so cheap. Like she understands what
yeah.
groundwork I'm laying down, even though she's 8. Like she does
You're
recognize
expanding
my
her
being here
options,
has opened up
her future
opportunities.
options. You've expanded so much.
She gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I
Wow,
want you
that's
to understand, like
amazing.
even at 8, they understand that they're getting access to stuff that people want to hear all about it when she comes back. And she realizes, wow, like my mom's gone. Yes, I don't like it, but man, when we're together or like da 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 da, like I get to experience things that people just think about and dream about, and she's doing. So I will say, even though they're young, like they get that you're laying the groundwork for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't think
Wow.
they can't. Maybe my child, but she gets what that absence, but what comes with it gives to like both me just being happy here, but also her being able to take advantage. And she would love to move here, eventually. She's a European.
Oh, that's so
She's an
awesome.
American European child at this point.
Yes, it's like she has the best of both
And
worlds, and
FYI,
yes,
to all Black women, yes, I want you guys to consider and encourage your kids to look in European schools. It helps if you come here, but the price competitive, the quality of education competitive, the access to travel and safety is, and all those things I said competitive, they're actually better. So don't hesitate to really expand past the United States in quality. I really want to put that out there
yes.
because she knows she's going to a school outside the States, most likely.
It's like, and yeah, the fact that we, and like I said, I always say, never in a million years did I think I'd be moving to Spain. But just to know that you have options and that you can, it's possible for your kids to have
Mhm.
options. That yeah, that we never thought we could experience, and we weren't actually able to experience at all. Maybe for me, I know that wasn't happening. And the whole idea that the reason that even when my youngest daughter moved here to Spain, I still didn't think I was going to be able to move to Spain. That wasn't even on my radar. But just the exposure just
Right.
broadens your mind and broadens the opportunities. And yeah, we do that, to have your kids and for them to be able to know that at 8 years old that I have options. This is wonderful. My mom is doing this.
Hmm.
That's great. That's great.
Hmm.
So,
Like they get
so I
it.
just
They
wanted
get
to ask you
it.
about so you've been doing some traveling. So I know that you got some in the what
Hmm.
travels have you done this year so far? I mean, I know with your daughter, but I know like you were doing some other things that you had planned to do.
Yeah. So in May, I tried to go to, like, China sort of blew up on social media, and I was like, let's go to China. Now, I tried to do a transit visa, but I didn't do it quite right. So I got there, and because I had a round trip ticket, I thought because I went to US to France to China back to France, it'd be okay. They're like, no, it needs to be like US, China, France. So I didn't do it right. So I got there and showed them the ticket. They're like, this isn't good enough. I'm like, oof. So I went ahead, and they were actually going to put me on a flight back to Marseille, France, because they had a direct flight from Marseille to Shanghai. And I was like, no, can I go to Singapore instead? Because I already took the time off. Like, let me just do it. I canceled my Chinese accommodation. I was able to find a hostel that was a women only dorm for a week in Singapore. And then it was like, okay, yeah, you can go to Singapore, buy a new ticket. They bought me a new ticket. So instead of going straight to France because I couldn't get through immigration, they took me to Singapore, which was a cool 5 hour ride on Singapore Airlines. And then I loved Singapore. Singapore is cool. So my daughter is looking forward to going to Singapore with me next year because I told her it was great. And then to leave Singapore, I'm budget. So I had to look for the cheapest way to get to like Europe. And the cheapest ticket out was like
Mm-hmm.
250 euros on to Greece. So I went to Santorini. And I got another low cost place to stay
Just
because
struggling
this was
through.
in May, so
Okay.
it wasn't the high season. So the prices were like $45 a night or 45 euro a night.
Wow.
Well, I had time. So if you have time, you can sort of budget your way back to where you need to be. And so that was amazing. And
So you just kind of like
and
on
then
the
I finally took
fly.
a 30 euro flight to Marseille, a 30 euro flight from Santorini to Marseille.
Okay. You have really see, and just in here, I don't know if she's on here right now, but Kyoka, the Aqua Black Nomad, she just got back from China. And she just posted like a whole video. The Aqua Black Nomad just posted a video where she was talking because it was a group of them that went, group of black people in China, and they just kind of bopped around and did went to different places and everything, and they were talking about their
Nice.
whole experience and stuff. But yes, so I don't know if she's still on there, but I might post her link in the description. But so you're planning to go to China sometime in this fall, next month after, sometime around there.
Yes, next month.
Okay.
Next month, I'm looking at some cheap. I do things cheap, so wherever the cheap tickets are, if it's in Hamburg, Germany, I will take. You know what I mean? Like I'll get to Hamburg, Germany. So right now, I'm just looking at the cheapest options. Cheapest from Budapest
Okay.
straight to Beijing, and Paris has some cheap flights. But yeah, I actually, when I went home to drop my daughter off, I actually applied for a tourist visa at the Washington D.C. consulate. Like the DMV is a great place if you travel. Just everything's there. So it took 2 days, really quick, and you can get pretty straightforward a 10-year tourist visa that's up to 90 days each visit. So you can go visit for 90 days, leave for a day, come back and do 90 days again for 10 years. Like they really make it accessible right now for Americans. Don't know about later, but
Oh, I
right
didn't know
now
that
it's
they
still
just had
open
to
and
leave for a
accessible for
day
us
and
to
come
come.
back. I didn't realize that.
I looked it up. They're like, yeah, there's no like time restriction. So some people are there, they'll leave for a run, come back and call it a day for 10 years. It's actually it's actually really nice, to be honest.
Okay. Wow. It's just so I'm just like right now, my big plans right now are, of course, France sometime next month. Going back to Lisbon in October for some hangouts. But yeah, I'm really trying to like in 2026, I'm like, I have like goals of like going to maybe Germany and things like that, but I'm pacing myself. But but yes, that's
Yeah,
exciting. I have a
yeah.
question for you. Um, did anybody was like your family or anybody like shocked, or did you have like yeah, your family like, what are you doing? What do you mean you're moving to France? Or was that like that's Lisa? This is not surprising.
Yeah. I mean, they just look at me when I say stuff they think is outrageous, and they just sort of watch. Do you know what? Like, there's no hate, there's no nothing. They're just like, "Are you gonna do this?" So they just sort of like, "Okay," and they just and then but like the okay is like, and they're watching. Does that make sense? Like they're just okay. Lisa said something. She wants to do something new, and they're just watching
Yes.
and observing. And I'm like, hey,
Okay.
come on over. Hopefully I hit the lottery one day. I'll fly all my nieces and nephews. I'm an auntie, so I'm big on flying them out so they can experience some of this stuff with my daughter. So they're just
Oh.
looking. My brother did tell me, I've been here for 2 years. My older brother, now he lives in Washington State outside of Seattle. He was like, Lisa, we're going to Paris in October. We're thinking we might want to move there for retirement. I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes you make that move and people just are watching and watching and watching, but it gives them the ability to understand the world is big. And like, I don't know, like, all I can say is that we went through the process. It was granted to us. We have the business background, money. There's things that you might need to get it easily. We have those things. We work very hard for those. So, like, take advantage of all that work we put in the States where we can show a 30, like, whatever investment, or we can sell a house and have enough. And we have maybe the business background or the technical background or the degree background where it's not hard to get these different visas, because I really feel like it's been very straightforward for us. But the thing is, we've been working, like we work. So we have a lot to
Hmm.
show when we apply for a visa. We have a lot to show. I'm honestly, I feel like we're probably overqualified, just like in the States, you know?
So wow, this is amazing. So okay, before we go, because we're going to go ahead and close this out, but I did want to ask you about like what foods you miss most. Well, you go back to the States a lot though, so I can't really ask you that since you have access. I was going to say what
No,
foods
no,
you
no,
miss
no,
the
no.
most,
I
but then
do
also
miss,
what dishes do you
I
really
do.
like in Marseille? Both of. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's three places. I just like a really good smoked chicken and baby back ribs. So that's I miss that. There's a Peruvian chicken place called El Pollo Rico. There's seven in the DMV. It's like it's like well known if you go to the DMV. It's great. And and Mexican. So this last trip I brought so many Mexican seasonings. I'm actually making birria tacos now. They're slow braising on the thing. I didn't realize how much I miss Mexican food, but I brought back fajita seasoning, chicken fajita, taco seasoning, chicken taco, birra, barbacoa, chipotle. I brought back aguajillo. I was like, I did not realize how much I miss Mexican food. So I brought like a whole thing of like just seasonings that could last me about half a year. And the food here that I love the Arab kebab stuff and the Algerian food. It's like lamb shank and they just do a really good, like the best broccoli I ever eaten. Don't know, like garlicky broccoli, but they do it so well. And the Pakistanis here are sort of my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pakistanis who do Indian food, that is sort of my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnamese is good here. I don't know. So those are my four like that I'll rotate through when I'm not cooking my own food here. Oh, and duck. They do
Okay.
duck confit, which is like a duck, which is like it's braised in duck fat with like herbs and spice. It's so good. So that's in my
Okay.
refrigerator. So I'll do duck confit either home or go to the restaurant. And we just don't do duck like that in
Wow.
the States, but duck is the dark meat. Like it's wonderful.
Yeah, you know what? I will say this. The crazy thing is when I was in Madrid and this was like back in October, and I saw this restaurant, it was like busy, just packed. And they had banh mi's. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't had a great banh mi in so long. It was so freaking disgusting. I was like, this is not, it wasn't good. I was so upset because I just
Oh,
knew. I was like, because I know
in
what a great banh mi,
Zaragoza?
because it's like No, this was in Madrid. This was in Madrid, but it was
Madrid, what
just
they
so packed.
doing?
I was
What
like,
are they
how did you?
doing?
And I know in Houston there's some great, Vietnamese restaurants in Houston.
Yeah.
So I know a great banh mi sandwich, and I was like, what is this? I was truly
Vi-
offended. Okay.
Vietnamese here is good. No, Vietnamese, they don't play in France. Like, even if you're from another country, French people, I'm gonna tell you this, they love their cultured foods. I mean, so you got to bring it because they're not playing.
Okay.
I don't care if it's Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, you need to bring it because they're not playing. They want their good food. They want you to kick it authentically and good. Like they have a very discerning taste palette. And so because of that, you get the best restaurants. Like you're not going to last if it's not good. They don't play.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm looking forward to this experience. Well, I want to say thank you so much. Lisa, is there anything else? First of all of your contact information is in the description, but can you give us your social media handles, please?
Yes. So my platform is affordablerealestateinvestments.com. So if you put that in Google, I'll show right up in Lisa Phillips. But you can catch me on Google. So YouTube, my investment channel, I'm not on as much because I've been retired.
Okay.
But that's affordable REI on social media for the business aspect. As far as TikTok, I'm on Investment Property France, and I do more of my content there because it's just easy to just pull up, say the thoughts that I have or teachings or musings or be like in France and want to show you something. So Investment Property France is where you'll get me on TikTok, and I have a lot of information. Please reach out to me. I'm on this thing where I'm not really into capitalism, so people still want to consult with me. I had a girl I used to work with for the investing. She just called me 2 weeks ago because she had a house in the Bahamas. I was helping her out with the process. And she called me and I'm like, just pay what you can. And she did. So like, I'm very cool on like just being of service more than I've really had to rearrange my mind from profit over community and be more okay, like just being okay with enough. So like I'm real easy to talk to if you want to consult on anything, be it real estate or
It does
visa,
not mean
moving
to
or
contact her
finance.
to try to get over. Okay. I'm just saying it. I know you may not say it, but I'm saying
No,
it. Don't contact her trying to get
it's
over
okay.
with
It's
no
okay.
mess.
My
Okay.
energy is such. My energy is such. It's always good. It's always mutually beneficial. When people talk to me, it always works out for the both. So no worries.
Okay.
It's my
Okay.
energy.
All right. All right. It's the
But
energy.
thank you, love.
So thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much. Thank you so much. I'm like, look, don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Right. Thank you. That's so sweet. It's good.
Well, thank you
Really
so
nice.
much, guys. I appreciate you guys joining. Please do make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I have anything insightful and wonderful to share. And when the baby arrives, y'all will know, or so, like people that know me, you'll know. And thank you. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Hold on just a minute, girl. Don't go nowhere.
Thank you to the chat and thank you. This was fun. I appreciate it.